Okay, now we are ready to work on Project 4.6, The Rabbit Show, and it's the word lesson 4. The first thing we need to do is come in here to Blackboard and download the rabbit document here, and I've already done that. And when we look at our rabbit document, we can see that it's on 2 pages. We've got a lone line here on our second page, and we've got here under special rules, we've got a tab here in the middle of it. Nothing's lined up. It looks kind of little tacky. So if you look in the textbook, figure 438 here shows you what your final document's supposed to look like. You can see it's a lot cleaner. You've got your names lined up here better. You've got bullet points here. You've got numbered bullets down here, and it all fits nicely on one page. So we are going to make some changes to our document over here and make it look like figure 438. So the first thing we need to do is on the title, remove the first line indent and make sure the alignment is set to center. So we're going to make sure our insertion point's up here in the first line. And when you click on this dialog box launcher here, you can see that we do have a special first line indent. We don't need that, so we're going to take that off. We're going to say none. We're going to leave it centered, aligned, and say OK. You can see it moved it over just a little bit. So we're going to take the next 6 lines and select them. I'm going to take my mouse over to the left side of my document till it becomes that little right facing arrow, and I'm going to select the next 6 lines of my document. And I want to clear all the tabs. I don't want any first line indents or of any type. I don't want the tab sets to anything special. So up here under the font grouping, I can come up here to the little eraser, and that's going to clear all the formatting. It's just going to leave my text. And then I can come over here to my dialog box launcher under paragraph, and down here at the bottom I have tabs. And under here I've got my tab stop position. I want to set my first one at the 2-inch line, and I want it to be a right tab, and I'm going to set it. I also want a right tab at the 6-inch line, so I'm going to change this 2 up here to 6. Make sure this is still right. Only this time I want it to have leaders, and so down here I have leaders, and you've all seen leaders. You've seen chapter books that have the title or the chapter title, then dot 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 dot, and then the page number. Those dot 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 dots are all called leaders. So I'm going to click here on number 2. I want these leaders here on there, and I'm going to set, and I'm going to say OK. And now I have to go back into my document and put them in. So I'm going to put my insertion point right in front of this G. I can hit my tab key, and it's automatically going to adjust everything with my 2 new tabs that I just added. That look a lot nicer. Okay, I'm going to remove my extra paragraph mark before and after the paragraph that says Call Pat. So here's Call Pat McGuire, and you can see I have a paragraph mark right up here before it. I need to just click on my delete key. I'm going to do this the same with the underneath it, just delete it. Now on this paragraph, Call Pat McGuire, it wants that to be centered. So I've got my insertion point within this paragraph, and I can come up here to my paragraph grouping and just click center, and I've now centered that paragraph. Okay, now underneath here under the special rules, I want this to be a bullet check marks under this heading. So I'm going to select all of it, all 6 of it, and I want this to be look a little bit nicer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here and I'm just going to clear all the formatting just to get rid of everything, and then I'm going to come over here to my bookmarks area and then find my check mark and have my enter my checkmark bookmarks. And by using that clear formatting, I got rid of all of that little funny stuff that was listed in there underneath the special rules area. I want to remove the paragraph mark before the heading Rabbit Premium, so I'm going to put my insertion point right there and hit enter or hit delete to get rid of that. And I want to change the paragraph spacing before and after to 18 points. So I'm going to come up here to Rabbit Premiums, and I'm going to come up here to my paragraph grouping, and I'm going to change this to 18 before and 18 after. I'm going to say OK. So it adds a little bit more spacing in here. Again, I got to that by coming up here to the paragraph grouping, clicking on the dialog box launcher, and there's my before and after spacing options. Under Rabbit Premiums, we want to clear all the formatting again, so I'm going to highlight the text here and then come up here to the eraser and clear the formatting. Then beginning with pre-junior and ending with the senior class line, I now want to use a numbered list. So right up here, I've got my numbered list, and I want to use the 1, 2, 3, 4, the first one, to enter that in there. Now, there's a difference. Some people ask me, well, why would you use a numbered list instead of just a bulleted list? When you use a numbered list, your reader assumes that you need to do things in a particular order. Like you need to, first is going to be pre-junior, then second is junior class, third intermediate class, and the fourth would be senior. So anytime you have a set directions and they need to do step 1 first and then step 2 and step 3, you're going to use a numbering type of format. If it really doesn't matter what format or how everything is set up, then you would use the bullet listing. And so this is our new document, and you can see it matches what's in the textbook. So you're ready to save that and submit that, because you've just made that document look a lot better just by applying the steps and the skills that you learned in Lesson 4.